Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. And rumours are just flying rampant for everything these days. But of course, we now have an official recasting for Ahsoka Season 2. Of course, as we all know, Ray Stevenson passed away, which was unfortunate, very unfortunate. He was the only actually good thing about Ahsoka. Not that he had anything really to do, but he still did it with proper acting skill and grace. He was still the best part of it. And of course, it ended on a cliffhanger for him. It's like, oh, he's standing on this statue on a journey somewhere. And then, of course, Stevenson passed away, and everybody was like, oh, what the hell are they going to do now? Because they had already confirmed Ahsoka Season 2. And of course, he's been recast now with Game of Thrones star Rory McCann, who was the Hound. I don't see that role working out quite as well for him. I've never seen that guy be any other type of character than the Hound, basically. I really haven't. And I've never really heard him without that kind of... It sounds like a Yorkshire accent that he has. But now there's a rumour as well for Ahsoka Season 2 that none other than Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to show up. Now, of course, the question is, are they talking about Force Ghost Obi-Wan? Or are we getting more flashbacks? I would think it's probably going to lean into flashbacks. They think it's going to lean into flashbacks in this article that we're going to look at. Because Force Ghost wouldn't make sense. For one, why would he show up to Ahsoka? And two, why would it be Ewan McGregor when it was Alec McGuinness's version, the very old version of Obi-Wan Kenobi that died and was the Force Ghost? So makes no sense that he'd be a Force Ghost. But let's have a look at this anyway. So it says, earlier this week we learned that Game of Thrones star Rory McCann will take over from the late Ray Stevenson as Balon Skoll in Ahsoka Season 2. If the cast is starting to come together, then work on the Star Wars TV series must now be well underway. Not necessarily, but whatever. The first batch of episodes ended on a huge cliffhanger when Grand Admiral Thrawn returned to the main galaxy and closed in on Dathomir alongside the Great Mothers. Ezra, meanwhile, reunited with Hera, though Ahsoka and Sabine were left stranded on Peridea, I think is how you pronounce it, with no way home except giant space whales, which is how they got there in the first place. Which, it turns out, oh look, they arrived here to die. And then when they were under attack, they were like, oh, let's run away. It's like, but you're already whatever. I'm talking about the space whales, by the way. They go to this particular place to die. And then when they got under attack, they left. They ran away. I was like, what are you running away for? You came here to die anyway. So whatever. So it says, however, the Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker was shown watching over them in the final's closing moments. The first time we've seen the Jedi turned Sith turned Jedi in that form since Return of the Jedi. It probably won't surprise you then that, according to Christian Harloff, so not my time to shine this time, Hayden Christensen is expected to have a pretty big role in Ahsoka Season 2. The Insider also reveals that Ariana Greenblatt, or Blate, I think, will return as the young Ahsoka, but the biggest news is Ewan McGregor will reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you're seeing there already, if young Ahsoka is back in, it makes more sense that he's back in flashbacks, and that's what they talk about here. So it says, while a Force Ghost appearance is possible, Greenblatt's presence suggests we're getting even more flashbacks to the events of the Clone Wars. Remember, Obi-Wan, Anakin and Ahsoka encountered the Mortis gods in that animated series. So showrunner Dave Filoni recreating that here makes perfect sense. After all, many of the fans, I suppose we'll put that in quotes, tuning into Ahsoka won't necessarily be familiar with the animated adventures that played out in the Clone Wars and Rebels. With the events of those shows so key to this story, Filoni must find a way to ensure his deep dive into franchise lore makes sense for everyone. Problem with that part, what they just said there at the end, is he didn't even do that for Season 1, because when Balon ends his story standing on that statue, unless you knew the lore and you knew all that stuff, you didn't know and realised that that was the statue of these gods. There's the father, the daughter, and the son. I'm pretty sure that's right. Even though I think it was the son's statue that half of it is missing, like the face is missing and stuff. So that's what he was going towards, and people are questioning, like, is he going to find these? Are they still alive? What's going on here? But, like, the normies that were tuning in hadn't a breeze what the hell that was. I didn't watch Clone Wars and stuff, so I wasn't 100% sure, but I had heard other people talking about what they think he was going to, and once the statues were seen, all those people came out and just told, like Star Wars Farrier, even Ryan Kinnell, who has, like, very knowledgeable in the expanded universe and all those things, immediately was pointing out and making videos saying, oh, that's this. So that was helpful to really understand that. But you're going to have the normies who don't even watch the likes of all of our videos and stuff, so they wouldn't have a breeze what the hell that was about. I don't know how you're going to work it into a flashback, especially to try and answer for Balon. It's very strange why they chose to do that and stuff. There's a lot of kind of Rebels and Clone Wars lore that they've shoved in here that I think there was not a reasonable amount of explanation for newcomers to the franchise, or just the normies who, you know, they check out the films and some of the shows, you know, but they're not watching the animation stuff, that they would just be sitting there going, like, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, who are these people? Why are they here? Why is there a giant whale that can go into light speed? You know what I mean? And they didn't explain any of that to people. They really didn't explain the whole situation with Ezra being lost in a different galaxy. They didn't explain Grand Admiral Thrawn and the mothers and stuff like that. So putting Obi-Wan Kenobi in here to start with, that sounds like an act of desperation. That is we need a big name to drag people back in, to convince people to come back in, especially when they must have been recognizing everyone saying, oh, Ray Stevenson was the best part of Ahsoka and he's gone now. It's like, okay, we've lost him, we do have to recast, but we need someone like that to be able to draw people in. And they're thinking, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, that'll do it. Will it though? We don't know. And Ahsoka Season 2 is going to be very telling, because we've just seen how bad The Acolyte did and how, like, nobody was watching it. The views for it were rock bottom and they cancelled it. Skeleton Crew is on right now and nobody's watching. There's even less people watching that than were watched The Acolyte. So that'll probably get cancelled. Why wouldn't it? You know, if it's doing worse numbers than The Acolyte, you'd have to keep going. So Ahsoka Season 2, yes, it's a more recognised name and stuff, but will people be convinced to even go back and watch it? Time will tell, I suppose, for whenever this thing comes about. Isn't she supposed to show up as well in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? She's gonna be everywhere. It's, good God, the character that should be dead. Mind you, that's the worst thing about Disney Star Wars, is Order 66 is more of a conspiracy theory at this stage than an actual event. So, hey, Order 66, remember that? No, that's a conspiracy people came up with. That thing didn't happen. Because everyone survives in Disney Star Wars. None of them died during Order 66. Order 66 was basically the Emperor calling out to all the clone troopers to go and get Chinese takeout or something. Give me an Order 66. Do you want spring rolls with that, sir? Like, it's weird. But anyway, there's your rumour. Apparently, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi may be coming into Ahsoka Season 2. I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures on Disney's behalf. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers! I'll catch you in the next one.